What is going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here back with another video. The Raptors lose, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is the status of Scottie Barnes. He unfortunately suffered another injury. It did not look good. Scottie Barnes in the second half of this game against the Knicks left the game and went back to the locker room with 6:47 remaining in the third after injuring his right foot. The injury occurred when Barnes came down on the foot of Karl Anthony Towns, and he was down on the floor for a significant period of time holding his ankle foot area while he was being looked at by the trainers. And Barnes was seen saying, "I can't feel my foot," over and over again. He was clearly in a lot of discomfort. He had to be helped to the tunnel, and then Barnes hopped to the locker room without putting any weight on his right foot. It was later reported by TSN's Kayla Gray that Barnes was ruled out with a right ankle sprain and did not return. This is another huge blow to the Raptors, who have had so many injuries this season, and another major setback for Scottie Barnes, who's playing some of the best basketball of his career. Barnes suffering another injury. He just came back from one. He returned from an 11-game absence after suffering an orbital fracture against the Denver Nuggets on October 30th. And then even last season, remember? Barnes suffered a broken left hand in a game on March 1st against the Golden State Warriors, which caused him to miss the team's final 22 games. And now this. And really, we don't know how long Barnes is going to miss. X-rays did come back negative per Darko Rajakovic, who said that post-game, but this is per Ali Rendele, who deals with these type of injuries and knows a thing or two when it comes to these injuries. She said on review of the injury, there appears to be direct force through the flexed foot as he lands. He immediately grabs his midfoot, concerned for a Lisfranc injury, fracture, dislocation of midfoot bones, ligaments. This makes the foot unstable. Majority requires surgery, so that is certainly not good. And then this is what TSN's Josh Lewenberg said. A Lisfranc injuries will cost Chet Holmgren his entire rookie season. Again, have to hope it's not as bad as it looked, but it certainly did look bad. Now, it is encouraging news that X-rays came back negative, but they're going to know more after an MRI, and he's probably going to get one done later tonight or tomorrow. That's per Josh Lewenberg. And I mean, that is not good at all, man. Like, this is just such a bad thing to see. Like, Scottie was playing so well. Going into this game against the Knicks, he was averaging 22.6 points, 9.2 rebounds, 10 assists, a steal, a block over his last 5. So, man, like, just unfortunate injuries. Like the one against the Nuggets, he gets hit in the face by Nikola Jokic on basically a play where both players were going after the basketball. Then another competitive play here. Like, this is not good. Like, if Barnes misses a significant amount of time, this is his third major injury in the span of less than a year. We definitely won't see Barnes rush back in any way. And what does help the Raptors in this situation is the fact that they're not going to play a whole ton over the next week, as the Raptors, they won't play again until December 12th against Miami. That's this Thursday. And then they're actually going to have 3 days off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off before their next matchup on December 16th. So I don't think Barnes is going to play in either of those games. But again, it gives him more time to hopefully recover sooner and get back out there. But given the situation, given the fact that the Raptors are not winning games, I mean, this loss to the Knicks has them at a 3-game losing streak. They're 7-18. I mean, I'd be shocked if we see Barnes back soon. The biggest thing here is hopefully he doesn't need to require any surgery. Really, like, if Barnes ends up missing a whole chunk of time, it makes the decision more clear than ever about how the Raptors are going to operate moving forward. Because you got to think here, guys, like, if Barnes, I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope he's okay. But let's just say worst case scenario, Barnes does require surgery. Like, this thing's done. Like, at that point, you would think the Raptors are going to fully go for the tank and they're not going to be competitive. And really, we see it. It's night and day. When Scottie Barnes is out there, by nature, this team is competitive. This team is so much better. Like, they were hanging in there with the Knicks. Credit to the Raptors after Barnes left the game. They almost won this game. But he just makes this team so much better. And we saw the elevated play of this team, 5-7 overall with Barnes, really in every single one of these games with a couple of exceptions. So, like, Scottie Barnes makes a world of difference. So if he misses extended time, they're not going to win a bunch of games. They're not going to be competitive for that play-in picture, and they're definitely going to, in my opinion, pack it in if obviously this is an injury that sidelines Barnes for a good chunk of time moving forward. But again, we're hoping for the best. If Barnes doesn't need surgery, he's back out there sooner rather than later, then, hopefully just a couple of games and that's it. But it did not look good. Scottie, you saw his facial expression. You knew right away, like, man, this does not look pretty. And yeah, it just sucks, right? And really, like, it doesn't matter where you stand. Like, even if you're team tank, not team tank, you never want to see your star player get injured literally for the third time in less than a year. Like, it's not good. It really isn't. And this team was finally starting to get a little bit of good luck with injuries, with guys coming back. They only had Quickly and Bruce Brown sidelined, and they're probably going to come back at some point this month. But then you have this injury to Scottie Barnes. You're again going to have to wait for this complete starting five to be rolled out there. Like, it's frustrating, and like, you just want to see this team out there. Like, you want to see the players healthy, and you want to see what they can give you. And I know what Scottie Barnes' play, like, he plays with a lot of energy. He does put himself in these situations that could be troubling. And really, you don't want Barnes to become an injury-prone player all of a sudden. So, like, I hope this doesn't end in worst-case scenario, because if he has to have another surgery, like, man, like, then you're going to have to start, like, really talking about, like, yeah, maybe Scottie Barnes does need to maybe tone it down a bit, where he's not being super aggressive in some situations, because you can't continue to have him do all this damage to his body at such a young age. Like, it's not going to bode well for the remainder of his career. But I mean, it's just how it went. The Raptors, they have the worst luck when it comes to this stuff, it seems, and they actually look good in this game against the Knicks. They had a chance there at the end to win it, but Karl-Anthony Towns hit the dagger. Just some quick takeaways. RJ Barrett played really well against his former team, 30 points. And then who really impressed me, the obvious one, Jacoby Walter. I mean, he really is starting to come into his own. Career high 19 points from off the bench. He was really giving this team some nice offense. The ability he has to just hit those mid-range shots. Jacoby Walter, he has been fun to see. And really, if Scottie Barnes does miss a significant period of time moving forward, like I said, the decision's probably going to be clear of the Raptors packing it in and just giving a whole bunch of minutes and playing time to youngsters like Walter. He did a really good job hitting his shots, even from beyond the arc, 3 for 7, got to the free throw line. So Jacoby Walter had a nice game. But again, the biggest news, Scottie Barnes. And what matters here is how much time he is going to miss. We're just going to have to stay tuned to hear some sort of formal announcement of how much time Barnes is expected to miss. Expected to come soon, of the team having a better idea of how much time Barnes is going to miss. But yeah, it's not good. It's one of those things that you hate to see happen to your team. But the Raptors once again hit with a major injury to their star player, and it is once again Scottie Barnes. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. That's it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.